From stories across the globe to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A very good evening to you. I'm Sharifa Tahir.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charita Minipurarachi, and now let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news.
Advanced level examination results announced. Cabinet approval to revise the period scheduled to hold GCE ordinary level and advanced level examinations. The first consignment of the Russian-made Sputnik V vaccine arrives in the country. COVID-19 cases in India crossed the grim milestone of 20 million. Medical students have been called for treatment services. The government sets to initiate a massive program in the next 2 weeks for COVID prevention and to improve health facilities. President receives the first flag of the War Heroes commemorative month. Mexico City subway collapse, kills at least 23.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with local stories. The results of the GCE Advanced Level Examination 2020 were issued today. Accordingly, 194,297 candidates have gained eligibility to apply for university entrance. The percentage of those who passed the examination is at 64.39%. The GCE Advanced Level Examination 2020 was held from October 12 to November 6 in 2020. The government took measures in facilitating the students with the necessary mentality to face the examination successfully amidst COVID-19 outbreak. Accordingly, the examinations was held within appropriate health protective guidelines. A total of 277,625 candidates had applied to sit for the examination for 3 subjects under the new syllabus, while under the old syllabus, a total of 24,146 candidates sat for the examination. Accordingly, 301,771 candidates faced the examination last year. 178,337 candidates have gained eligibility to apply for university entrance under the new syllabus, while 15,960 have gained eligibility to under the old syllabus. The results of the examination can be obtained from the official website of the Examinations Department of Sri Lanka. Several telephone numbers of the school exam result branch have been made available for any inquiries regarding into results. Accordingly, the inquiries can be made via 0112-784-208, 0112-784-337, 0113-088-350 and 0113-140-314, and also through the hotline 1911.
The National War Heroes flag was pinned on President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the Presidential Secretariat today, declaring the War Heroes Commemoration Month. Acting chairperson of the Ranaviru Seva Authority, Sonia Kottegoda, pinned the War Heroes flag on the President. The War Heroes Month commemorates the brave war heroes who sacrificed their lives for a free and independent country by putting an end to the terrorism that ravaged the country for more than 3 decades. The War Heroes Month commences in the first week of May from the day National War Heroes flag was pinned on the President. Defence Secretary retired General Kamal Gunaratne was also present on the occasion.
And meanwhile, the flight containing the first consignment of Russia's Sputnik V vaccine arrived in the country this morning. The first batch consists of 15,000 doses of vaccine. The consignment arrived in the Bandaranaike International Airport in Katunayake in the flight QR688 at 2:10 a.m. today. Deputy Ambassador of Russia to Colombo, Alexei Budando, symbolically handed over the vaccine consignment to State Minister Professor Channa Jayasumana. Sri Lanka is expected to receive 13 million doses of Sputnik V vaccine in future. Chairman of the State Pharmaceutical Corporation, Dr. Prasanna Gunasena, was also present at this occasion. The administration of the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine under the COVID-19 inoculation program is in progress at present. Accordingly, a total of 117,571 persons have received the vaccine thus far. The second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine was administered to the staff of the Puttalam Base Hospital today. Approximately 600 persons received the vaccine. A total of 1,150 COVID-19 patients were detected today. Meanwhile, 944 discharged from the hospitals yesterday following their complete recovery. So far, the total recoveries in the country has increased up to 99,153. A total of 14,964 COVID-19 patients are still receiving treatments in hospitals. Minister Dr. Ramesh Pathirana said that all measures will be taken in to increase the number of PCR tests and the hospital beds capacity for COVID-19 patients.
ඊට අමතරව මේම කොරෝනා තත්ත්වය සම්බන්ධයෙන්
The parliamentary proceedings were commenced today while keeping all the doors to the parliamentary chamber open. This measure was taken after considering the COVID-19 outbreak in the country. National Blood Transfusion Service has indicated the need for blood donations from donors due to the decline of the blood reserves belonging to the Blood Transfusion Service.
රුධිර බැංකු එහෙම නැත්නම් ලේ බැංකු 104ම අපි විවෘත කරලා තියෙනවා උදේ 8යි හවස 4යි අතර.
An appointment to donate blood can be made by calling the telephone numbers of the National Blood Transfusion Service or by visiting the website of the service.
විශේෂයෙන්ම ලංකාවේ ජාතික රුධිර පාරමිලන සේවයේ ජාතික රුධිර මධ්‍යස්ථානයේ නාරා
The National Eye Hospital has introduced telephone numbers for the patients who visit clinics for treatment purposes to make appointments in an attempt to limit the time spent there in the hospital premises due to the prevailing outbreak. The telephone numbers can be acquired from the National Television's website www.runews.lk. The consular unit of the Ministry of Foreign Relations has limited its services considering the prevailing COVID-19 outbreak in the country. Accordingly, services can be acquired from 7:30 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. An appointment can be made through the telephone number 0112-335942, 0112-338836 or by visiting www.consular@mfa.gov.lk. A decision has been made temporary to close all bungalows, guest houses and campsites belonging to Wildlife Conservation Department from tomorrow onwards due to the COVID-19 outbreak. Steps have been taken to close 5 post offices and 33 sub-post offices due to the prevailing situation in the country. Meanwhile, permission has been granted to open Tambula Special Economic Centre from 5 a.m. till 5 p.m. under the strict health protective conditions. Matula District Coordinator to control the COVID-19 outbreak, Major General Nishant Manage, made these remarks this evening. Chairman of Geological Survey and Mines Bureau Anu Ravalpala said that steps have been taken to temporarily close the head officials of the office of the Bureau. He said that the relevant decision was made after detecting 17 COVID-19 patients from the office. He said that services can be obtained from all the divisional officers. Health authorities have issued instructions to gem businessmen in Ratnapura city to refrain from engaging in business-related activities for 14 days starting from today. The relevant instructions have been issued considering the daily money transactions and gathering at large number of people in business places. Steps have been taken to close trade stalls in Rekillagaskada, Padiyapalala and Hangurankata cities for a period of 1 week. Rambukkana Public Health Inspector's Office has mentioned that 50 persons who had participated in a wedding without adhering to health guidelines have been directed to self-quarantine after detecting 15 COVID patients among the participants. 17 COVID-19 patients have been identified in the Ahaliyakuda Medical Officers Health Division and they have been directed to COVID-19 treatment centres in Abilipitiya and Kahavatta.
The National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 outbreak says that 9 Grama Niladhara divisions in 5 districts were isolated from 7 a.m. this morning. Accordingly, a total of 84 Grama Niladhara divisions in the country have been isolated thus far. Accordingly, in Justri Grama Niladhara division belonging to Norwood division and Fordyce Gardens in Hatton Police division in Nuwara district and Aldania Church Lane and Ranaviru Dharmasiri Road in Kadawatha Police division in Gampaha district have been isolated. Furthermore, the National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 outbreak announced that the isolation status has also been imposed on Gangulvitiya Grama Niladhara division in Ratnapura Police division, Pothupitiya North Grama Niladhara division in Rakbana Police division and Hapukura Grama Niladhara division in Kalabana Police division. According to the press release issued by the centre, Villoravata Gramaniladari Division in Moratumulla Police Division in Colombo District and Bombuwala Gramaniladari Division in Dodangoda Police Division in Kalutara were also isolated from 7 a.m. this morning.
Moving to the world update of the COVID-19 pandemic, India's coronavirus cases crossed 20 million today as infections surged past 20 million, boosted by 357,229 new cases over the last 24 hours, whilst deaths rose by 3,449 for a total of 222,408 fatalities. The neighbouring country, India, is experiencing the world's worst outbreak with new cases staying well above 300,000 every day and continuously breaking the record for the highest single-day figure globally. Bihar is the latest Indian state to enforce a lockdown as the country attempts to quell the country's deadly COVID-19 surge. The western state of Maharashtra have been worst affected with a number of restrictions in place, including weekend lockdowns. Amidst an exponential rise in daily COVID-19 cases, which has brought the country's health system near to collapse, India is also facing an acute shortage of hospital beds, medical oxygen supplies and coronavirus treatment drugs like remdesivir. India, with the world's biggest vaccine-making capacity, has partially or fully immunized only 9.5% of its 1.35 billion people. Although India last week began vaccinating everyone above the age of 18, the world's largest immunization drive has slowed down as a number of Indian states are facing shortages of vaccine supply. India becomes the world's second nation after the United States to pass the grim milestone of 20 million. It took the South Asian country just over 4 months to add 10 million cases, versus more than 10 months for its first 10 million. India has witnessed scenes of people dying outside overwhelmed hospitals and funeral pyres at light night and the night sky. The national capital, New Delhi, has been badly hit by the second wave. The Union Territory of Delhi, where the New Delhi is located, were placed under lockdown on April 19th, being extended until May 10th. The Health Ministry of India stated in a statement that nearly 4 million items from 24 different categories, including medical equipment, oxygen concentrators and ventilators, have been distributed across 86 healthcare facilities across the country. Meanwhile, Indian opposition leader Rahul Gandhi has called for a nationwide lockdown as the country's tally of coronavirus infections surged past 20 million. Reportedly, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government is reluctant to impose a national lockdown due to the economic fallout. Yes, several states have imposed various social restrictions.
In the meantime, India received coronavirus aid from the United States and the United Kingdom today to help the country combat a raging surge of COVID-19 infections amid a shortage of medical doctors and supplies.
Trainee doctors and nurses in India are being pulled from their exams to join the fight against the world's biggest COVID-19 surge. On Tuesday, a U.S. Air Force jet touched down with oxygen cylinders and aid as the U.S., UK, and other countries around the world raced to donate supplies amid medical shortages. India's total number of infections has soared past 20 million. Medical experts say the actual numbers could be 5 to 10 times higher than that. At this temple outside New Delhi, volunteers work under makeshift tents. A new patient arrives every 20 minutes, gasping for oxygen. Crematoriums overloaded with corpses have become a common sight over the past few weeks. At a hospital in the city of Pune, Dr. Mekund Penorkar returned to work just days after losing his own father to COVID-19. He says his patients need all the help they can get.
My father passed away on Monday. I had to start working again Wednesday because the overall situation is so difficult that we can't just rest at home and see the agony of other people. Because I've been through such a situation myself, I can't leave other patients to their fate.
At least 11 states and regions have ordered lockdowns to curb the virus's spread. But Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been reluctant to order a national lockdown for fear of economic impact. Despite being the world's largest producer of vaccines, India does not have enough for itself. Efforts have been hampered by a lack of raw materials and a fire at the Serum Institute, which makes the AstraZeneca vaccine. Just 9% of the country's nearly 1.4 billion people have received a dose.
And in the same note, Australia today defended its decision to penalize its own citizens entering the country within 2 weeks of being in COVID-ravaged India, saying had strong, clear and absolute belief the move was illegal.
It was a practical decision.
Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison on Tuesday defended the country's decision to ban all travellers from India, even its own citizens.
It's my responsibility to do everything I can to prevent a third wave in this country. And so I make no apologies for that, and I thank particularly the Indian community here in Australia and overseas for their patience and their understanding.
Morrison pointed to the dramatic spike in positive cases from India, recorded in Australia's quarantine hotels since March. But his decision to ban all travellers from India until May 15th due to the surge in cases there has been slammed by politicians, the Indian diaspora, and even cricketers. Offenders will be prosecuted and penalized, but Morrison added it'd be, quote, highly unlikely they face maximum penalties for breaking border rules, a fine and 5 years in jail. The Australian Human Rights Commission urged lawmakers to immediately review the restrictions. #Dictator Scott was trending on Twitter on Monday, and National Senator Matthew Canavan tweeted, "We should be helping Aussies in India return home, not jailing them. Let's fix our quarantine system rather than leave our fellow Australians stranded." Australia, which has largely contained its health crisis, closed its borders to non-citizens in March last year. Roughly a quarter of the 35,000 Australians stranded overseas are in India.
And heading back to more local stories, the Cabinet of Ministers has granted approval to revise the periods scheduled to hold GCE advanced level and ordinary level examinations. The relevant cabinet proposal was presented by Minister Professor G.L. Piris. Minister Dr. Kehelia Rambukwala said that according to government analysis, the university entrance in developed countries is available at the ages of 16 to 17 years. However, he said that in Sri Lanka, children gain eligibility for university entrance at the ages of years 19 to 20. Therefore, he added that as an attempt to reduce the age gap, the periods scheduled to hold GCE advanced level and ordinary level examinations will be revised. Accordingly, he further added that the GCE advanced level examination will be held in the month of January, while the GCE ordinary level examination will be held in the month of August. The minister said that the Cabinet of Ministers has granted approval to accept more applications for re-correctional purposes than in the previous years.
කියක් තියෙනවා නම් අපි ඒකට නැවත වරක් පරීක්ෂණයක් ඉල්ලනවා. එතෙන්දී තවත් මාස 3ක 4ක කාලයක් යනවා. ඒ නිසා ඒ සියල්ල ඉවත් කිරීමට තීන්දුව කරලා තියෙනවා. විශේෂයෙන්ම නැවත පරීක්ෂණ කිරීම මම හිතන්නේ පරීක්ෂණාත්ව 0.1.7ක් කියලා කිව්වේ උදේවා කියන්නේ. ඒ නිසා ඒක අර out of card එහෙම නැත්නම් අර ගන්නා ප්‍රමාණයට අමතරව ඒක 30කට 40කට තමයි වාර්ෂිකව සීමා වෙන්නේ. ඒ කටයුත්ත කිරීමට කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලය අනුමැතිය ලබා දීලා තියෙනවා. මේ මුළු ව්‍යායාමයේ තුලම මාස 14ක 16ක පමණ අඩුවක් ඇති වෙනවා. එතකොට අපි අර 19යි 20යි කාල සීමාව 17යි 18යි අතරට ගන්න ක්‍රමවේදයක් හැටියටයි මේක ගෙනල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. මේකට කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලය අනුමැතිය ලබා දීලා තියෙනවා.
Co-cabinet spokesman Minister Ramesh Patirana said that no political interference will be made on the efforts taken to prevent the COVID-19 outbreak in the country. Minister Ramesh Patirana said that the Presidential Task Force on Prevention of COVID-19 outbreak as well as divisional and provincial health authorities have been given the opportunity to take necessary decisions regarding preventive measures to curtail the spread of COVID-19 outbreak. He also said that the government assists the National Operations Centre for the Prevention of COVID-19 outbreak on the decisions which have to be taken to curb the further spread of virus without taking decisions or issuing orders in this regard.
අප සිදු කරන්නේ නැහැ ඒක සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම සෞඛ්‍ය අංශවලට අයත් කාරණයක් අපි සලකනවා.
Responding to a question raised by a journalist, Minister Udaya Gammampilla said that no decision has been made to revise the gas prices. Co-cabinet spokesman Minister Udaya Gammampilla said that no proposal has been submitted to the cabinet regarding the change in the gas prices. The minister further asserted that although the price of gas in the world market is increasing, a cabinet decision has not been reached to revise the price rate of the gas in the country thus far. The Cabinet of Ministers has also granted approval to declare a National Week on Road Safety with effect from November 21st, 2021 and dedicate such a week in November annually in the future with the intention to minimize motor accidents and victims of road accident victims. The relevant proposal was presented by Minister Gamini Lokuge. The approval of the Cabinet of Ministers was granted to establish 500 outdoor exercise and fitness centres using containers in selected places in the country. The relevant proposal, furnished by Minister Namal Rajapaksa, is expected to be established at a cost of 625 million rupees. The project will benefit nearly 100,000 members of the public and 5,000 athletes a year. Minister Dr. Keheliya Rambukwala says that the Sri Lankan government, compared to many countries in the world, has achieved many accomplishments to the nation and its people amid the global crisis situation. The minister made these comments while participating at a special discussion with Media Secretaries Forum at the Mass Media Ministry premises today. Lengthy discussions were held over the policies related to media and future proceedings, including in the Vistas of Prosperity policy statement. Chairman of the Media Secretaries Forum, Director General of Media to the Prime Minister Vijayananda Herath, presented a record of proposals on the relevant policies to the Minister Dr. Keheliya Rambukwala. The attention was directed on the relevant proposals on mass media sector as well as development affairs of the government during the meeting, while discussions were held to establish a committee to inquire into the welfare of the journalists and their issues and concerns. The minister, while making remarks at the meeting, said that the distribution of 28 billion rupees for the development affairs of each Gram Niladhari division in the country and the implementation of 100,000 job opportunities program and providing job opportunities for 61,000 graduates amid such challenging situations are true people-centric accomplishments of the present government. He said that the government has distributed 80 billion rupees for 7.2 million families in the country during the most challenging period in the country. The government also allocated 15 billion rupees as public reliefs during the New Year period. Furthermore, the minister said that the government is in the process of building 14,000 houses under the program to provide one house for each Gram Niladhari division, and the program to provide electricity for electricity-deprived houses is in motion at present. Secretary to the Ministry of Mass Media Jagat P. Vijayveera, Director General of Government Information Mohan Samaranayaka, Director General of Media to the President Sudeva Hettiarachchi and President's Media Spokesman Kingsley Ratnayaka were present at this occasion.
Minister Pavitra Vanyarachchi says that the government has taken massive steps for the prevention of COVID-19 outbreak and to enhance the medical health facilities of the COVID-19 patients. The most attention under the program will be directed on establishing emergency care units and oxygen storages rather. The minister made these remarks over prevailing situation in the country while taking part in the parliamentary adjournment debate today. Minister Pavitra Vanyarachchi said that approximately 13,800 hospital beds have been dedicated for COVID-19 patients. She said that steps will be taken to allocate another 10,000 hospital beds for the patients in the next 2 weeks. The minister said that the required oxygen capacity for hospitals is at 25 tons and the capacity can be increased up to 80 tons. Presently, hospitals in the country has 24,000 normal oxygen cylinders and 4,000 jumbo cylinders. The minister added and the further said that orders are another 7,000 jumbo cylinders have already been placed. She added that out of which 400 cylinders will be delivered in the country next week. The minister said that the 25 high-flow oxygen machines will be made available within another 2 weeks' time. She said that currently patients under critical conditions are occupying 58 ICU beds. She said that measures will be taken to allocate another 138 ICU beds and another 56 beds depending on the requirement. The minister said that 175 high-flow oxygen machines, 35 BPAP and CPAP machines have already been ordered for the hospitals. She said that the health sector has capacity to fully vaccinate 63% of the population in the country within this year. She further said that inoculation program which was started this week will be continuously carried out without any hindrances.
The Central Environmental Authority has initiated a program to introduce alternative plantations in place of palm tree cultivation. The program has been initiated in accordance to the instructions of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Palm trees have been cultivated in approximately 12,000 hectares of land. The experts have pointed out that many environmental problems would occur due to the palm tree cultivation. As a solution, steps were taken to remove all palm tree cultivations in the country. Accordingly, rubber or any other suitable crops are expected to be introduced to palm tree cultivation lands. A discussion in this regard was held at the Central Environmental Authority yesterday. Chairman of the authority, S. Amarasinghe, was also present at this meeting.
And with that, we conclude tonight's news. Do it just tomorrow at the very same time. Stay safe.
Stay safe and good night.